Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special bulletin. In the entertainment industry, there are some studios, some developers that just can be classified as the gift that keeps on giving. And Ubisoft, my goodness, used to be on a daily basis. Then they took a hiatus for a little while, keeping themselves out of the news cycle. And, well, they're back in, putting their foot in their mouth, saying some so wonderful things. And my goodness, if you've ever heard me talk about microtransactions, you've been here long enough, you kind of might know how I feel about it. But this article from Games Radar has me, well, a little bit beside myself, because Ubisoft claims microtransactions help players experience more fun. Yeah, what? Experience more fun. We're going to feed into that little impulse control gambling addiction that you may or may not have. Folks, dig into that wallet. It's not the whales they're going after, the people who have a massive amount of expendable income. It's those. It really is those who have trouble with impulse control. Okay? If you ever have that, if you can't stop yourself, I got to have the next big thing. Companies like Ubisoft prey on people like you, people like me. Yes, I will admit it. I've had some problems in the past, and that's why this whole microtransactions or macro transactions, that it really should be called. Well, I have things to say about it, especially when it comes to Ubisoft and their particular monetization practices. So many opportunities for leisure in the summertime. You can read at the beach, slurp up some Italian ice, or you have to admit, completing microtransactions is much more versatile. I like that fact that Games Radar's taking the piss out of that stupid statement. Maybe, just maybe, no, I can't even say that with a straight face. Maybe they're coming around to the gamer side, to the customer side. No, they're not. No. It's all seasons entertainment, right? Paying more money for a game you thought you already paid for, which is a major transaction. I don't generally go after free-to-play games that have nothing more than cosmetic microtransactions, regardless of their price. I'm not going to sit here and scream about fucking Blue is $80. I'm not going to do that. They're pricing it at what they think people are going to play. You know who I'm talking about. You put a free-to-play game in front of me where every single piece of monetization, micro, macro, battle pass, season pass, or whatever, if it is nothing but cosmetic, I'm not going to say a single thing. However, that's not what you get with companies like Ubisoft. You have XP boosters, which is not cosmetic. And you come to find out that, well, after a little while in the game, XP becomes absolutely so ridiculously throttled that, well, that little 10%, 25%, 50% XP booster is starting to look really nice just to get past. You're just going to do it to get past this one thing. What's the harm? And that's how they get you. You've already paid into it once, so you're more inclined to pay into it again and again and again. Or monetization practices where they had skins for a single-player game behind a paywall, behind a deluxe edition, behind the extra special thing that you could only get if you pre-order. Fear of missing out, folks. It's disgusting. It's despicable. And part of the reason why one of the games that I've been enjoying lately, Hypercharged Unboxed, you pay one time, multiplayer, couch co-op, cross-platform, and every single little bitty piece of extra stuff, you have to play the game. You have to get good at the game. Can we bring that back, folks? Back to the article. Always optional. Oh, okay. Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed developer Ubisoft seems to think so, telling investors in its most recent annual financial report that monetization, quote, with premium games makes the player's experience more fun only because you make the paid-for experience less fun. Like I said, throttling experience points. Oh, you want to see all the markers on the map? Here, just pay a little $5 one-time fee. You can see all of that stuff, right? Oh, you want little shiny stones? You want your equipment to degrade a little bit less? Here, buy this little booster that'll last for a couple of days of play, or indefinitely, and your equipment will not get destroyed so quickly. This is always optional, Ubisoft stresses. I hate that word. Don't put it in the game. Just don't. Sell a premium game for a premium price and give a premium experience. You might be surprised at how much of an attitude can change towards your studio. But players like to pay to, quote, personalize their avatars or progress more quickly. Now, there is no doubt in my mind they like to personalize their avatars. It's a fashion show. Destiny has this. And I believe, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but my experience with Destiny is if you wanted the look and the feel and all the cosmetics and stuff out of the Eververse store, you had to pay with silver, the premium currency. It cost you money, but it's all cosmetic. Changes the look of your Guardian, of your motorcycle that I can't seem to... Oh my gosh. You know, I played that game for many, many years, and I can't think of the name of the thing. Y'all, moving on. But it's the part where it says progress more quick. I feel so embarrassed. I love Destiny. I miss Cade. Progress more quickly. That's where the problem is. Pay to win. Pay for convenience. These things have become entirely too normalized in the game. It's nice that Ubisoft decided to inform its investors of that fact, but maybe it should alert its actual players next. Oh, heavens, no. They have no intention. They're just going to let all the pay pigs fund, and they're going to let all the people who are just suffer from fear of missing out, or have issues with impulse control, or think to themselves, it's only $5. Unfortunately, when you're doing it 2 and 3 and 4 times a day, or a week, or a month, it starts to add up, when it shouldn't even be there in the first... Anyway, online gaming communities are full of screaming spirits that only still walk the earth to punish us for Wait, what? Online gaming communities are full of screaming spirits that only still walk the earth to punish us for our microtransactions. And to them, Ubisoft is one of the industry's major offenders. Punish you for microtransactions? No. We're not trying to punish you. We're trying to get you to pull your head out of your ass and realize what the company is doing. The microtransactions, the pay for convenience, the pay for an experience booster is there because they've already created the problem to throttle the experience at a certain point to make it extra slow to get through the game. They create the problem and then sell you the solution. This is nothing new. But maybe people just choose to ignore it. This coming from Synth Potato. Is this coming from Synth Potato? I've been against this. Assassin's Creed Shadows unfortunately has microtransaction stores, same as in Origins, Odyssey, and Valhalla. Why would you think otherwise? Here's a quote. A acerbic Reddit thread says, I find it baffling, then your head is up your ass, that Ubisoft has implemented terrible microtransactions into every single one of their AAA games. If it's in 1 or 2 or 3, what makes you think it's not going to be in the rest? More and more people are paying for the convenience, paying the extra money for the paywalled mission with Jabba the Hutt, paywalled cosmetics in a single player game. What? Because you want your character to look good for who? Exactly. Anyway, quite literally almost every single AAA title they've released for nearly a decade now have turned their games into the absolutely horrifying amalgamation made of greed, dollar bills, and copying machines. And then they run like a big pile of hot garbage. And yet, people are still giving the studio money. They're still putting in the microtransactions because people are still paying for those transactions. Why would you take it out if it's not profitable? 10 minutes of coding, put it in a store. It's right there, ready, willing, and waiting for your money. Ubisoft World is all teacups and roses and dollar bills shaped like roses. The company continues to say its financial report that with strong growth in the digital business in recent years, Ubisoft has managed to successfully transform its economic model to try and milk every single solitary penny out of your wallet. So maybe let's wake up and stop it. I know I'm screaming to an empty auditorium because, well, it takes a lot. Whether or not it's the expendable income that you have, or the impulse control, or just you're bored and you spend the money, you don't realize it, or you have a legitimate problem with the fear of missing out, and so on. No one's going to get you to stop doing that except yourself. I had to wake up one day and realize I can't keep doing this or I'm going to lose everything. Much like any other addiction, digital addiction is a thing. It is real. It is no less destructive than chemical addictions, liquid addictions out there. So I can sit there and scream from the rafters of how bad this is, and hundreds of other channels can talk about how despicable the tactics are just to get you in that $1.99 purchase, that 99-cent purchase, to get you hooked, to make you more susceptible, more inclined. Well, I'm already invested. What's another $5? The company has also, quote, set up a working group dedicated to monetization and the associated risks. Wow. To the company? Mm-hmm. With the goal of gaining a better understanding of the issues surrounding monetization, in particular by identifying practices that could be perceived as manipulative or non-transparent. Translation, we're trying to take our scummy as fuck tactics and butter them up and put some lipstick on them and perfume to make it look not so scum fuckery. You paint it up and throw some bells and whistles on it and it looks pretty. It looks like it's worth the price of admission. Because, hey, it's going to help you have a lot more fun getting through that game faster when they already throttled the experience to begin with. Created the problem so they could sell you the solution. That said, due to the complexity and sensitivity, the strategic nature of this subject, continues Ubisoft, the group has decided not to provide further details. They've decided to not to provide further details on the guidelines, practices, and recommendations mentioned above. We don't have to tell you any of the bullshit fuckery that we're doing. Ubisoft wants to sell you the problem, sell you the solution to the problem they created. Their scumbag, predatory monetization model needs to be studied because people are falling for it over and over and over again. And I don't know what it would take to change an entire industry that's been doing this, but hey, personally, going to keep on trying, going to keep on talking about it, and maybe one day, but whatever. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTube is begging to do. And I'm sure Ubisoft's going to screw up again this week, so I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.